Yo, what's up? This is Mr. McGee, aka Boopy, aka Born Rich, and you are listening to the Born Rich Club podcast. Make sure you go over to YouTube and support us on the YouTube platform. Just search Born Rich Club podcast, give us a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. And guys, without further ado, enjoy.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Lano XL, Mr. 18 Pockets.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Mr. McGee, a.k.a. Boopy, a.k.a. Born Rich and Lano.
What up, though?
How you feeling today, brother?
I feel like a guy that got paid today, don't owe nobody, bills is paid. Yes. Now I'm just about to give my money to a girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Strip club tonight?
Possible.
All right, we'll talk off camera, man. But family, thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Most
Another
definitely.
episode of Born Rich Club podcast, and I know we got a special guest here with us.
We got a legend.
Absolutely, a pioneer. Been here since early.
Man.
Yeah, I tell my son, man. My son was still on his mama's breast.
Yo,
when this man,
people
when
were
this
still
man
driving
came.
Cutlass.
with 412s in
Come
it.
on,
Yeah.
man. I said with the 412s
yes,
in.
man. So, family, we got a brother been making a lot of noise for a long time.
Long
in this city,
time.
man. He, in a sense, is one of the voices of Nashville.
Most definitely.
Man. He's been here so long, man. We got our brother, your brother, my brother, Dolewite in the building, man.
Man, thank you guys for having me. Man. I
Most
appreciate
definitely,
it.
most definitely. Did you
Yeah,
like that?
sure.
Did you like that right there?
Yeah, that was a lot. Thank you for the
That's how we
legendary
try to-
thing. I was like, it
Nah.
feels good when you get older and people and instead of OG they go legend. I'm like, yeah, like legend sound better than OG, man. I appreciate that for
Absolutely,
real.
bro.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You're a legend and an OG. So we put it together, you're just a legend.
Thank
you know what I'm
you.
saying?
No,
Thank
you
you.
are, man. You are. So I guess we can get right into it, Dolewite, man. So I know you wasn't born in Nashville.
No.
Where were you born?
I was
at,
actually born in New Jersey. My family moved to Clayton County, the south side of Atlanta, Georgia, when I was 1.5. So I don't remember much about Jersey.
Gotcha.
But, I can take you around Atlanta pretty well.
So-
I just ain't going to Jersey with you and Chief Keef.
yeah.
I ain't going up
Right.
there with Chief Keef, man.
Nah. All right. So Atlanta pretty much raised
Yeah.
you in the scene. So what was high school like in Atlanta, man?
My high school was crazy, bro. Like I in Clayton County at that time, I was 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying, from the projects, 5 minutes from the country. So I went to school with just a wide spectrum of people.
Yeah,
you know
diverse.
what I'm saying? Very diverse spectrum of people.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like the kid that I didn't start DJing when I was in high school. It's kind of like a dream. I thought it was a little too big. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like, you
yeah.
know, when you think about doing something, you're like, I could never do that. But I knew kind of that's what I wanted to do. I was always a kid with all the CDs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's where I spent my money that I worked for. I
Got
would
you.
buy the CDs.
And DJs was big at this time,
Yeah,
right? Like
man,
King
yeah.
Capri. Like you got big DJs
Yeah,
at this
and
time.
growing up in Atlanta, there were big DJs in Atlanta. And so, like, when I went to college, I got involved. I went to Georgia Southern University. It's about 3 hours south of Atlanta,
Okay.
in Statesboro, Georgia. This is where Scooby and I met. But I got a college radio show, and they had 2 turntables there. And I started, my first college shift was 3 to 7 a.m. on like Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever 3 to 7 is for you.
Oh, you just had a walk on, so that was a walk on.
Yeah, it was an ugly time shift. But that's where we started, and Scoob joined me in the spring of that year, and it kind of just we had kind of chemistry from
the jump.
from the jump, like
Yeah.
from the very first show. I remember he went to high school with a lot of people that went to Georgia Southern. So I remember that
Okay,
first
yeah.
night he was calling everybody like, "Wake up! I'm on the radio. We on the radio right now. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" And it just kind of went up from there, man. Like college was a time. We had a great time. I didn't too good of a time. I didn't graduate, but I was there for 4.5 years. So,
Oh, okay.
You was kicking it.
Yeah, you
we was kicking it
You
too
were
hard.
there for 4 years if you still didn't graduate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that was back when we were still like using vinyl records and stuff like that.
Still make
So,
them
like,
alumni.
yeah. So I mean, it was when I see like younger DJs now, I'm like, yo, I used to show up to the club with 13 crates of records. Y'all just bringing in
a phone and a computer now.
Yeah, computer, and it's lovely, man. It's amazing. Like even the turntables, like they was heavy. So you was bringing your turntables, your mixer, and 13 crates of records. It was a wild time.
Most DJs pull up with a homeboy.
This how you gonna get in.
Help me with my,
you know, the funny thing about that is your homies was always there at the beginning of the night for you to load in. They get in the club free. End of the night, they nowhere to be found. Everybody gone. It's me and Scoob looking around like, yo,
they telling you so and so. Oh no, he left with so.
Yeah, you're like, come on, man. Then we gotta load all this shit.
But that's the way you get in, though, ain't it? If somebody say, man, look, I can DJ, but look, you gonna get in, you gotta help me. I'm helping.
Man, I tell you, they gonna be around.
So look, I want to ask you this. So you say you met Scoob, right? So Scoob you was already doing the radio. You got your time slots.
Yeah.
How did you and Scoob get cool?
We were in the same dorm. And so he lived down the hall from me, and he would tell me every week, like, "Yo, I'm gonna come to the radio with you this week." I'm like, "All right, man, come on."
Yeah, okay.
And every week, I'm gonna come at 3:00 in the morning or 2:30 when I was ready to leave.
Yeah,
he was either asleep or you know what I'm saying, doing something else.
Most definitely.
So he was gone. So one week he was like, "Man, I'm serious. I'm gonna come." I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna knock on your door, or whatever." You know what I'm saying? So I knocked on his door. He was there, and we went, and that was it. Like.
Instantly chemistry right there.
Instantly, man. We had a lot in common. We were born 6 days apart. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just a friendship and just a continuation of the friendship on air from day one.
That's how we was right here. Like he started a show. We got a joke. We say phone in the cup because he actually had a phone and put it leaning on the cup and started his first show. And at this time, I was still like just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And then I kept telling him, I'm gonna come on the show. I'm gonna come on the show. But I never would come on the show. And then one day he just called me and said, "Man, come on to the show." And then I came, and then this is right here, 24 years of me and him. And not we started the podcast, this is 2 years, but just the chemistry that we had, the friendship, the camaraderie that we had, and then look at us now.
Yeah, we've been rocking, man.
That's
we've
dope.
Been rocking. No, I love it. So you and Scoob, y'all do the college show. What was after that as far as radio situations?
So the long story, I'm trying to make this long story short. This is a long story. All right. At the time, Ludacris he was on the radio in Atlanta, right? Yeah. He got a record deal, and he was leaving.
Okay.
And so, long story short, we had an audition to replace that show.
Okay.
Right? And so the PD at the time was a guy named Daryl Johnson, who eventually ended up being the PD at Blazing 106.7, if y'all remember that back in the day.
Yep.
So Daryl had us audition. He was like, "I want you guys to have this job. I don't want you to drop out of school." We were still in school at the time. "I don't want you to drop out of school. Just transfer to Georgia State or something like that."
Yeah.
And then nights on Hot 97.5 is 107.9 now are yours. And we were like, okay, done. Like, this is our
big
job,
deal.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then I remember 2 weeks later, we hadn't heard much from him. And we were actually interviewing Ludo on our college show. And we got off the phone with him, and we was like, "Hey, dude, like, if you see Daryl, like, tell him to call us." Like, we ain't heard from him. He was like, "Oh, Daryl took a job in Dallas." And we was
Damn.
like, "Oh." So we was out. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of hurt. Scoob decided to stay in school. I was like, man, like, I'm done. I actually know people in this building. I'm going to try to go up there and make something happen. So every Friday night, the new PD was doing a live broadcast at 112. And every Friday night, I would go and I would go to 112 at like 9:30 and see if I could talk to him for a minute. Just establish a relationship. Yeah. And this, I swear to God, this is a true story, bro. I had $16 to my name at one point, and I paid $15 to get into the club so I could talk to this man. I had $1 for an entire week. Luckily, my parents lived in Atlanta, so you know what I'm saying. I could eat. And, you know what I mean? Like I had gas for the week. I was good. But it left me with $1 for the entire week. And then eventually he was like, "Yo, you can take me out to eat one day. We could talk." I was like, cool. So this man making, you know what I'm saying, probably six figures. I'm making $6 an hour. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was working in mailboxes, et cetera, at the time. So I was like, you know what I mean? I wasn't making nothing. I remember that bill came. We went to Houston's and Buckhead, and the bill came, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna take this. And I'm like waiting for him to kind of pick it up and be like, he didn't pick it up, bro. Like I paid for that meal, and I was like, yo, like come on, man. But he was like, yo, like I'll give you an internship. I'll let you skip promotions. You can go straight to programming. And so I became a part of the night show as an intern. It wasn't
intern,
paid, but I became part of the night show there. And then school finally like left school.
Okay.
And then we had him to I got in good with everybody. I'm a likable
most
person.
Definitely.
Most definitely.
I mean, you worked your magic.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so school was coming up there to get a internship in the promotions department. Mm-hmm. And the day he went up there, the promotions director who was interviewing him went into labor. So he never got that. And then so what happened was we were like, all right, it's time for us to put this thing back together and like go elsewhere. So we started working on our air check every night. I remember we had to wait for the PD to leave so I could bring him up into the studio, and we use the studios at the radio station. Sometimes that would be like midnight. Like dude was a workaholic. Like he was always there.
Yeah.
School would just be sitting in the parking lot waiting in the car. Like I'm like
determined that he waiting though.
Like as soon as he saw him coming out, he'd be like, he's out. And I'm like, cool, let's go. And we sent out four of our packages with like an air check and all this shit. And
an air check, explain what an air check is.
It's just like 5 minutes of what you would do on the radio if you got a job. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
If the show became yours.
So
we would do that, and we sent out 4. We got 2 job offers, Nashville and Macon, Georgia. And no disrespect to Macon, Georgia, but Nashville was a pretty easy choice between the two. You know what I'm saying?
A bigger market.
Bigger market. Yeah. Well, and this was Nashville 2001, and it was still a much bigger market than Macon, Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
So I didn't know that, Dolewite. So me being from Nashville, I always thought that you guys were pretty much on like one of the popping Atlanta radio stations.
This is our first job, bro. This is my first. This is still my first job, man. Like my LinkedIn account is like iHeartMedia 2001 to present. Like that's it. You know
that's dope.
That's all I got.
So who you get the phone call from up here?
So at the time it was Kiki, the first lady, and we kind of got lucky because when we came up to interview, Doc Winter, who's the head of all urban in iHeart, still is to this day. Happened to be in Nashville because they just lost the station like two months before. So he just happened to be here, and he just told her, he was like, "Yo, that's your night show." And
Bam.
When Doc Winter says that's your night show, that's
your night show.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I remember we got here on a Wednesday. We got here on Monday, December 10th of 2001, and then December 12th was our first show.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still in that same. I was just telling you, we're still in that same studio until like last week. And I'm going to a brand new studio. My first show on the new studio is like Monday. It's tomorrow or Monday.
And that's crazy because like I was explaining to him is that like even if you from here but you're a new generation, Dolewite's from here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This long. We know he's he wasn't born and raised here, but he been here this long. He's a Nashville.
I've been here longer than I was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like this is I have no family in Atlanta anymore. My family, like my wife and my child, are here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because we always caught those times. I still remember those times where artists would come out. Like I always say, an artist, right? An artist, when he's recording, is 2 people he's looking at to get on the feature, and that's Lito and Buck, right? But who he want to meet to get him on radio is you, right? Because it's always Dolewite, right? Yeah. Man, if I can just holler at Dolewite,
I can get up there, right?
I can get on, right?
That's when the most ears is on that station. Everybody had good shows that went on one to beat, but we was night owls, so we wanted to hit Dolewite and Scooby. You know what I mean? So what was Nashville like though, man? You come from Atlanta to Nashville.
It was a lot different than it is now. Y'all grew up here.
Thank you, man.
And I mean, it was. At first, there was some culture shock. But I think after the first year, I was like, I'm enjoying this now. Like, I had to know where to go. Like, Nashville back then, you had to know kind of where to
what
go.
Areas
You know
what
what I mean?
I know you probably went downtown and was like, I don't really.
It was just 2nd Avenue back then. You know what I'm saying? It was just 2nd Avenue.
Second Avenue.
And it was a bit of a culture shock at first. But after a while, like, man, it was a little slower pace back then. A lot more than it is now. Like Nashville is like
Nashville's fast. It's a baby Dallas to me now.
Yeah, like, man, it's a city now.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Very metropolitan city now.
And I think that comes with some great things, and I also think that's kind of like you miss some things. I remember Scooby and I, we would get off work at midnight when the show was over, and we would go shoot pool at Bailey's on Broadway.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We would park our car. I tell people like newcomers this all the time. Like, no, we would park across the street on Broadway. You just park your car there and walk across the street. He was right now. Like you can't do that.
Now that's not even heard of now.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do. You legally cannot do it. You know what I mean?
Parking is crazy though, right?
Yeah.
So how was Scoob taking it?
He adjusted better than I did at first. I think Scoob, I think he moved around a lot when he was a kid. So he was born in Detroit and then moved to Atlanta when he was like 6, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he moved around a lot in Atlanta as well. Okay. So like I was coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like I had moved from Jersey to Atlanta, which I don't remember that move.
Yeah. Okay.
My parents were in that same house up until my mom left in February.
Most definitely.
My entire life, and I went to college, but that was always my home base. So I didn't have any experience.
Yeah,
moving.
he had plenty of experience.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean?
Like stability. Like when where you at, you stay at for a minute. He can move around and bounce around.
Yeah, so it was a bit different.
That's huge right there because it do be a shock, right? When we meet people from out of town and we say, all right, man, you got to come downtown. And then when they see downtown, but then when we take them on Jefferson, it's two totally different. They like, oh, shit, I ain't know that.
Yeah, man. The Lower Broadway is, I live a mile and a quarter, a mile and a half maybe from Lower Broadway.
Okay.
And there's no reason for me to go there now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you moved into the gentrification.
Yeah, I for sure did. No, I did for sure.
Come on, Dolewite, man.
How can you not at this point? Like the whole city gentrified,
that's
bro.
real,
Like,
though. How can you not? If you can't beat them, join them. At the lean had to lose his house. But I'm getting a good deal. In
my defense, though, we built our house and it was on an empty lot.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
At the lean probably sold it. Probably family house been there for 50 years. Dolewite, man.
No, lot, man.
I like what he said, though. I mean, even something like that, though. You're seeing a lot of newcomers. I don't want to skip too far because I want to focus on the journey. So you can speak for you being a newcomer. When you first got to the radio station, what was the reception like? Good man, feedback, bad feedback?
Man, it was the most ridiculously love I've ever felt.
Okay.
Like it was crazy. I remember literally like that Monday we got here. They sent us out to do a remote night that we got here, and it was a rim store in Hickory Hollow Mall.
Okay.
And so like, I mean, it's the first day that we're here.
And that's a long time ago, right?
Yeah. Nobody had heard of us before, right? Like, and they was just like, hey, our new night guys, Dolewite and Scooby, are going to be out at this Hickory Hollow Mall. Packed.
Yeah.
Packed.
Oh.
And I was sitting there like, yo, these people don't know me. Like, like what? This is wild. It was wild, bro. It was wild. The only other time that I felt love like that was right after school passed. Like it was wild.
Yeah, Nashville cried that day.
And you, since you brought it up, let's get into it. So, what year was that when Brother School passed?
That was February 18th, 2012.
2012. Okay. And you guys okay. So you got here in 01. So
we got here in 01, and what's crazy is we at the time we had. I think it was we were at My. We had made the move to My on Thursday nights. We had Karma and then My on Thursday nights, and they was cracking, and we was making good money for the first time. We was probably in our 4th year doing that, and then the radio station had just bumped us up to afternoons, like in November of 2011. So like right at our 10-year mark, they switched us and they moved us up to afternoons, and so I mean, everything was going
well,
great. All of our plans had come to fruition. You know,
we winning now, man.
We winning now. We put in our work. We winning, and that's when that happened, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, take us to that day, man. You chill.
I can tell you everything I did that day. I was actually in the middle of buying a new house at the time, and I was. This is one of the. You brought up gentrification. Y'all about to get me again on it.
Yeah,
it was one of the first like houses in Nashville that had like a rooftop deck, right? Yeah. So you already know what it was. But you know, I'm gonna own it. It is what it is. You know, I'm gonna own it. But that was 2012. I didn't know nothing about gentrification back then. But so I remember I was on the rooftop of that house, and I was with 2 of my friends. I was showing them the rooftop, and that's when his cousin DM'd me on Twitter. And was like, hey, do you have his mom's number? And I didn't. And And I'm like, no, what's going on? And then I didn't hear anything. And then probably 20 minutes later, his mom and his cousin and his auntie called me, just hysterical. And I couldn't understand what they were saying. So it was hard to figure out what was exactly what was going on. So I thought he may have still been alive. Something had happened. He was in Detroit. He was up in Detroit for his nephew's first birthday. Okay. I couldn't understand anything. So I told my homies that was with me, I'm like, hey, so I think something happened with Scoob. Let's go back to my actual house where I was actually living. And we did that. And so we started calling around to the hospitals. And his girlfriend at the time called me, or his mom actually called me when it got bad. That's what happened. His mom called me and was a little more calm. And she told me he had passed away. And then was like, can you call Stephanie, his girlfriend at the time, and can you call people and let them know? And so I called her first. Yeah. And
very hard, right?
Very hard.
Very hard.
Yeah. Worst phone call I've probably ever had to make. And then we were at my house, and she was like, I'm headed to Detroit. Are you coming? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I gave my homeboy my credit card. I'm just like, yo, like, book me a flight to Detroit. Yeah. He booked me a flight to Detroit. He's like, you're out of here at 2. And I just had to start calling people. And it's the worst, one of the worst things that I've ever had to do was call people that love Scooby. Everybody loves Scooby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Most
like
definitely.
On a personal level, people love this man. Yeah. He was a person, like, if you knew him, he was one of your best friends, like, whether you were one of his or not. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So, like, I was calling these people and telling them this horrible news about this person that you love so much had passed away. And then I was like, to be respectful to everybody else, I had to get off the phone because I feel like there are certain people that need to hear that news from me and not from anybody else.
Definitely.
So I'm like, yo, this happened. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't stay on the phone with you. I have to keep calling people.
I got to keep calling people.
Yeah. Man, and so the whole time I was at the airport, and by the time I landed in Detroit, he was trending on Twitter nationally, which was crazy. My voicemail had filled up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like in that hour and a half flight, 'cause Detroit's a short flight, man. Yeah. It's like an hour and a half. It was short. It was
just that fast,
just that fast, like
viral,
crazy,
news travel, like.
And this is 2012, before things were really like viral, like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was big. I still remember. I think somebody called me and told me turn on the radio. Yeah. And I want to say some people at the radio was speaking about it, and I was like, because like I know, of course you, but Scoob, 2 legends, right? And when we heard the bad news, Tennessee most definitely cried. Man, we was very heartbroken because we feel like we grow up with you guys, right? Over the radio waves, we listening to you guys every single day. And then just being able to hear that type of news, most definitely. And I know it was hard for you, because it's, you can't see one without the other, and then you got to call and make those bad calls.
I'll tell you, the crazy thing was going back to work. And between college and here in Nashville, we had done that show together for 15 years. Every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we lived together for a while when we first moved here, but, we were in our 30s at the time that he passed away. So, we were living separately, but we saw each other
every day.
Every day. Yeah. If we didn't see each other, we had to talk about something every day. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going back in the studio and, like, nobody sitting in that chair no more. That was wild.
Yeah. Wild. It took a minute, didn't it?
It took a minute for me to learn how to do my job without him. Like, I mean, he had taken vacation, had sick days and stuff like that, but I had never been a solo talent. You know what I'm saying? I'd never done that before. You know what I mean? So it was way different, man. I still think that probably took me 4 or 5 years before I really felt comfortable. Being on my own.
No, even so at the station after that, is that what the station decided? Hey, we're just gonna rock out with Dolewite. You're a solo. Talent now?
That was it.
There was never even no talk about bringing anybody else in.
No. I don't know that I would have done it. I think those things have to happen organically. Yeah, like if it had happened organically, I think that's one thing. But if it had happened like we're bringing someone in to replace him, I wouldn't have felt right.
Just put somebody in on air.
Who is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Yeah, no, it wasn't ever a thought, man.
Nah, man. Damn, man. That's crazy. Because I remember Scooby, man. I remember
Everybody.
He was a great dude. Man, we got a street named after him. Like, when we were trying to get the street named after him, true story, dog. Like, shout out to Lionel Matthews. He was a council person at the time. Lionel was headed that whole thing.
For the interview, Nick.
That's my guy, man. Like, I've told Lionel a million times, like, I'm indebted to you for life for that, because he spearheaded that. He was like, what do you want to do for school? I'm like, can we get a street named after him? He was like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So I remember he told me, he was like, yo, like, we've got this thing almost pushed through, but we need like emails from people to that support it, to show that this is supported by the community.
Okay.
And I put that out on Instagram. I put it on Twitter. And then I remember he hit me back an hour later, and he was like, tell them to stop. It's been too many emails. They're complaining. Like, we got this. And I was like, yo, it's like been an hour, bro. Like, it took no time at all for the city to be like, yo, we support this, name this street after him. It's crazy.
I like that. See, because that lets you know how powerful your voice is, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you that, with the powerful voice, right? If you can remember one situation where you know what I'm saying, because everybody say, hey, use your platform, use your voice responsibly. Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't? You felt like, I probably shouldn't have said that, or something like that.
I'm sure I have. The only thing that sticks out is something kind of stupid. When we first got here, we did it was like, what is it, spring forward and fall back. And we told everybody we were saying on the radio, tonight it's time to, it was either fall forward or spring back. I can't remember. We reversed them purposely, trying to like get people to do the wrong thing. This is like a little ha-ha joke. Yeah. But it made the news. Like, they was like,
damn.
Whoa, bro, like, hold on.
Yeah, like, we're joking, bro.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Part of our show.
Like, that's the only time that I remember. I mean, I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
It's weird when you're talking about something and you're just talking. You can say something that you don't necessarily mean. You be meaning to make one point, but you end up making another
one. Most definitely.
And it's
that's
like,
what
that's not the point that I was trying to make. You know what I mean? And then it's hard to go back on those things.
Most definitely.
It's not too bad.
I want to ask you this right here, because now the way technology is set up and the social media platforms, right? If you're going to come out with a song or you make a song, you can instantly put it on your social media platform. Is radio still important to artists?
This is what we tell people, man. If you wanna sell out a club show, you can do that without us. If you wanna do Bridgestone, you gotta come through radio at some point. But you gotta build up to that. There's stepping stones. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody's trying to go straight from being unknown to Bridgestone. And like, nah, bro, this is like
social media made
you
do that, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember when we was growing up, and artists that we listened to, we didn't see the lifestyle. We didn't really see a lot of what we see the day to day, right?
Yeah.
So we knew at those moments, like when an artist come out at 98, 99, I know it took time to make an album, to get your footwork going. You got to, what they used to call it, chitlin circuits. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to hit these areas. But now, the guy that's in the bedroom making this music, soon as he posted, he want 1 million views. He want to, like you say, skip the clubs and go straight to Bridgestone. But I just wanted to understand, because that's the thing now that you get from artists, right? They'll sit there and act like radio is not important anymore.
Right.
But you saying radio is important if you want to go and do the Bridgestones, the arenas. Yeah.
So like Maxwell was just here last week, and so you're saying he had to come pretty much through
I mean, radio. How many huge hits has he had on
most
the radio,
definitely.
man? You know what I'm saying? Like,
most definitely.
Maxwell, like once you have equity at some point, it's just like Prince. Prince didn't have a radio song for the last, I don't know, 20 years of his career.
Yeah, most definitely, a long time.
Like, I mean, when the last time you heard a new Prince song, like before he passed away? But Prince could sell out wherever. At some point, you get big enough as an artist to where you are.
You don't need anybody.
The promotion. You don't even need new music in it at some point. You know what I'm saying? You can just go play your hits.
But somebody new coming out, most definitely still need, like, an artist still need radio, right?
Yeah, I believe that. It depends on where you're trying to go. Like, look at Lito, man. Lito has had a great career.
Yes.
Doesn't need radio. Doesn't care about radio. Like, he said that on the
Big Facts.
Yeah.
I seen him say that he hasn't turned in a record to radio in over like 20 years.
And I remember when I first got the PD gig in 2014, I was hitting him like, bro, send me a record, dog. Like, we'll play it. Send me a record. You know what I'm saying? Send me something.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah.
How do you go from like what you just said when you became PD, right?
Right.
When you you listening to someone you like, is it easy to play them like that?
No.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what I like.
Okay, yeah. And that's what I'm getting to.
I've been wrong about records a million times in my life. You know what I'm saying?
He tell me I'm like that. He's like, man, you wrong on that record.
I remember the first time I heard Laffy Taffy by D4L. I was like, this is not a good song, bro. And then it was like the biggest record ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was wrong. Like
you hated on Booty Hole Brown, my Sexy Red song. You hated on that. And look what happened, Dolewite. You was wrong
blew up,
again.
bro. I was wrong.
So do you get these records in advance?
Most of the not anymore. Back in the day, yes. Now artists normally release new music on Fridays, and labels are in my. So that's at midnight East Coast time.
Yeah.
So at 11 p.m. on Thursday night, I'll get like all the new music.
Oh, okay.
That's out.
I want to know this. What song did you hear firsthand before you actually played it, right? That you can hear like this is for the people.
So those don't like the first listen where I'm like, this is a smash.
Yeah.
Okay.
The latest example of that was TGIF. First time I heard it, I'm like, this is out of here. Glow is out of here.
Yeah.
Glow is like everything she puts out is. I'm just.
But you knew that record right there, like
TGIF. The first time I heard it, I'm like,
it's gone.
It's gone. It's over.
It's gone.
It's over.
It's gone.
Yeah, this one is out of here.
he like Glow.
I like Glow too.
I like Lotto. I like Lotto. I'm a Lotto. But I'm a Glow. I'm a Glow. But I'm a Lotto fan.
hey,
showing off my moose notes. Hey, is it things that can be said on radio now on music that couldn't be said?
I mean,
because now it's kind of wide open a little bit.
People say that. But we was playing, what's the Kaya record?
My neck, my back.
Yeah, my neck, my back. We was playing that. And like, I always use that whenever people are like complaining about like Sexy Red. I'm like, what was you doing when Kaya, my neck, my back came on?
Nah,
you're
right.
This is as bad as anything that Sexy Red is put out.
So radio, okay, damn, you're right.
I want to speak on payola, Dolewite. When did y'all stop accepting payola? Now, payola, is payola a thing? Well, I'll just say, when you first started, was payola, has payola ever been a thing?
In my life, no. Okay. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying
we're talking about like existing.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I can say this, like, I'm the way that we release new music and stuff like that on the radio station has evolved and changed over the years to where like at this point, like I don't control what records go on the station anymore. So you know what I'm saying?
What goes in rotation, you don't have that.
I don't have that power
because
anyway.
We think you do.
Right.
The world think you do. Right?
At one point I did.
Okay.
But the corporate structure has changed over the years. It's evolved. So, I mean, you can offer me money, but there's not much I can do for you at this point anyway. But whether or not it exists, I mean, at this point, I think it was probably more of a past thing than it is a present thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I just always thought that coming up, like, okay, if this man he works for El Chapo and he wants his little nephew to be a rapper, we just go to the radio station and drop a big bag of cash.
Because that's what we think. Like, it ain't that easy. We think that it can get that easy.
I also want to ask. This is gonna be a nerdy question though, but so 101 was Cumulus. Was it Cumulus?
No, it was Clear Channel, and then Clear Channel became iHeart.
Okay, so
we just changed the name of the company.
Oh, okay, that's it.
That's it.
iHeart wasn't like a big conglomerate that came.
No. So Clear Channel invented the iHeart Radio app, and the app was doing really well. So they were just like, let's just name the entire company after this.
Okay, yeah. That was my nerdy question because I remember the change, and I'm like, oh, why the change?
So 92Q is Cumulus, and then we're iHeart.
There we go.
So Lil, I want to ask you this, right? When we get more into just the radio thing, you said you've been in the building for the whole time.
And then it was crazy as I was out, like, I'm really sick, but I had some congestion, and you can't really do my job if you don't have a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Most
so my voice
that's
is pretty
big
much gone.
part of the job,
yeah,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, I need that. So I was out last week, which would have been my last week in the old building. Okay. And so, like, when I go back to work Monday, I'm in a new building. After 23 years of being in this other spot, like, but the new spot is so nice. Like, I really had no,
complain.
I don't have no feelings about it.
I love it. So, Dolewite, as a PD, a program director, right? What's your job description, man? What do you do?
So
exactly?
back in the day, it was looking at song research and programming songs and stuff like that. Now it's more of, and it's always been these things as well. But like the imaging, the things you hear in between songs. Promotions, or like come November we do the turkey giveaway that we do every year.
Yeah, you do, which is big.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Those things nonstop, and then also talking with the sales staff and making sure everything. I mean, I'm literally in charge of everything you hear on air. Like, I'm, with the exception of the music selection.
That's a hell of a move, though. Yeah, just coming from like you said, like, just recap, right? You coming from Atlanta, coming here. Instantly get hired, kind of like, and
straight out of college, really.
Started, like you say. So I want to ask you this before it slipped my mind: the time slots. Okay. Do that mean the
mornings and afternoons are the busiest time slots?
Okay.
So, and we go back and forth between which one has more listeners, depending on stuff like that, right? So mornings and afternoons are the two. The time slots that have the most people listening, for obvious reasons. People are going to work, coming home from work. So, and then middays are probably third, and then nights that are less. But I remember it used to be different at nights, because like kids like me that grew up listening to radio, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I did at night. I didn't watch TV.
Most definitely.
I have a TV in my room growing up. You know what I'm saying? I had a radio though. You know what I mean? So, so I listened to the radio countdown, and if you wanted new music, you had to tape the song that
most
you had.
Most definitely.
You do all that.
Definitely.
But that's not really a thing. So I think probably most of our listeners at night at this point are people riding around at night that are maybe going out, or people working third shift jobs, stuff like that.
I want to ask you this too. Other than the Lidos and other than the Bucks, right? Who has caught your ear in Nashville, musically wise?
I mean, Paper's a legend, bro.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Paper's a legend. Kwani is a legend. So those four, like, since my time, because I know Pistol and Cool Daddy Fresh.
Yeah.
That was before I got here.
Okay, cool.
Pistol had a record. Pistol had a couple records in my early years, but I mean, but since I've got here, I mean, it's been Buck, it's been Paper, it's been Buck, Paper, Lido, and Kwani. Those have been the biggest four.
Who you hear now?
I like Tim Gent a lot.
Okay.
I like Daisha McBride a lot. She's dope. I mean, we played a couple Wilkes records. I think Wilkes is pretty dope.
Yeah. You put me on.
What's dude's name? Stain.
Okay, you like Lil Stain? Yeah. I like Lil Stain energy. I like his energy. Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Because media is different now in Nashville than it was when you came, because now it's podcasts popping
it's all
up.
kinds of
so
stuff.
It's different things to get to highlight a lot of artists that's coming here. I want to make sure we get this clear. Dolewite can't play your music just because you think your music hot.
Yeah. And that's the thing about radio is, and it's just like being.
That's what he thought.
It's just like being a DJ in the club, right? Like, even if I could, right?
Yeah.
If I play a record that nobody in the club knows. It's a club. Say the club jumping.
Yeah.
Okay. And I drop a record that nobody's ever heard before.
The vibe what happened?
Gone.
Yeah,
you know how hard it is to get it back?
Yeah.
So radio works the same way in essence. So like, if we play a record of an artist that you don't know, a song that you don't know, what do people do? They punch into the radio and they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Punch right back out.
You're right.
And we're trying to do the opposite of that. We need you to stay. That's my job is to get you to stay.
To get listeners, right?
Right.
Yeah, for them advertisers, boy.
Have anybody money, man.
Yeah, we got to keep the light.
Yeah.
That's why every radio DJ say, we're going to go pay some bills right
now. What we doing?
Have any high execs ever called you for an artist that's here?
Yeah, actually. On a couple times. I've had a lot of Kevin Lyles came down one time and we had lunch and we talked about Lido. He knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew like these guys know Lido. And Lido's I'm sure he's had meetings, but I think when you cross a level of independent where you're making already making independently what they're offering you, except what they're offering you, you have to give back. You're probably looking at them like, no, I'm not going to do that, bro. That's not a good deal for me.
You right on that. Right, because like the piece of the pie now going to get smaller more for me.
Right.
But I've already got
merch. I've got all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I going to give that to you?
So Kevin Lyles, Felito.
Yeah. I got a call from one of my record reps a couple weeks ago about 10 Gent.
Okay.
I mean, it's happened a handful of times over the years.
That's good. Because I want artists to know they can't run to Atlanta.
They ain't got to, no.
Exactly, right? And I don't want, because people going to call back.
Yeah.
Because you got a high platform where they know who Dolewite is. So they do want to call the radio stations to make sure that this artist is popping or this artist is impactful, right?
And the other thing about it is a lot of people in the record company saying they've been there for a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been here for a long time.
Most definitely,
we have a relationship. So if it's somebody from Nashville, they're gonna call me.
Yeah.
If I don't know who that person is, I'm gonna go find out. I'm like, let me find out, because I mean, dog,
like,
I'm in my 40s, bro.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that. I don't know.
There you go. I ain't outside.
I ain't outside like that. Not with 18-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's who really pushes the culture forward is younger people in college age folks. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And so like I have to tap in and kind of know what they listening to a little bit. And if I don't, I'm not doing my job well. One. And two, I got some catching up to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why like we always had a good relationship with younger DJs on the station, like Reddy. And I got a good relationship now with like Menville since I've been back outside a little bit. I
remember you guys had Avriana up there.
Yeah,
I remember Avriana was up there.
But I've always tried to have a good relationship with these guys and trying to really, hit them up more often nowadays than before. I mean, I was inside for like 7 years with my little girl. Yeah. After I had my little girl, and
Cause you the GOAT, man. You the legend, man.
Yeah.
So I know when radio jocks and it is high personality people see you, man. Most definitely, we look at you and we be like, yeah, this is the upper echelon for us.
That.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard you say you back outside though.
Just a little bit, man.
Where you been at?
I've been
like this shit, Dolewite. Kind of message, Dolewite.
I like this.
I've been at Bungalow all year on Friday nights. Okay. And so I do Bungalow a lot, which is just restaurant vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do the club. I don't
even know how the club look no more.
Yeah,
like I don't even know how the club look.
It's not even that, man. It's just like I'm at the age now where like like a 22-year-old look like I can't tell the difference between a 22-year-old and a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
shit.
And they just look like kids to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
so like being in younger environments, I just don't feel comfortable.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'll do Sunset, I'll do Bungalow, stuff like that.
Oh, we like
Bungalow. Chill.
I know, right?
Yeah, we like Bungalow.
You chill out a little bit.
I was like, I get in Bungalow today. I can't get in Bungalow with this. I don't think.
One of my jean
jackets. I got
it.
Man.
But let me ask you this, Dolewite, because I asked every radio person that we have up here, I asked them this. So what do you say? What do you say to the artists or the people in the city, period? Because it's more than just artists say this. 101.1 does not play enough local music.
I say the same thing. First of all, the people that say that are always artists themselves, surprised, right? It's not somebody that work at the hospital that's, you know what I'm saying, like listening to the radio.
Damn, you're right.
Hold on. I tried to say, well, not just artists, everybody says this. Don't like, no, they don't. It's not everybody.
You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Like I never met nobody that work at Amazon, right?
They don't care.
You know what 101 The Beat should do?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
More local artists.
You have to first of all understand the business model, and the business model is people that are working that aren't in music, people that are just trying to get home from their job or to their job, and all they want to do is be entertained and hear their favorite song. Yeah. So we do research. We know what their favorite songs are. Yeah. We know how often we need to play their favorite songs. We know all of that, right?
I like you breaking that down.
So I tell artists, like, be one of their favorite songs. And I'm not talking about the people in your neighborhood.
Yeah, down the street. Yeah.
I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Killer Psycho like my song.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like can you produce teachers and nurses and people that are just going to work every day. A single mom in Smyrna, a married couple that carpools to work every day from Old Hickory. Like those, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the people that's our audience.
No,
so like entertain. Like if they want to hear your song, we gonna play it. That's our job.
So I want
he broke it. I just real quick. I just like he broke that down because that was one of the complaints. I don't listen to the radio. They just play the same old songs, but you just told us why.
Yeah,
because we trying to get these people want to hear their favorite song.
Yeah, most definitely. So I want to say this: if I'm an artist, right? Okay, you don't take payola. You know what I'm saying? How do I get a record on radio?
So first thing I would say is one, don't focus on one record. Focus on your music and get fans.
Okay.
Up your Spotify listeners to however many you need to get. Just focus on that first. I remember one time Boosie came up to the station and he said something that stuck with me ever since. And because I was like, Boosie, like no matter if you got records out or not, like you sell out Limelight every time. You sell out every time.
Every time.
Like how do you do that without even putting out? He was like, man, I got fans and my fans mess with me.
Yeah,
like,
he say that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's always been his saving grace. He's got fans.
That's that Starlito.
Get fans, bro. Like get fans. And let it start with that. Start with one fan of your music that you don't know personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody on the internet.
Your mama can't do it.
Right. It can't be your auntie, your cousin. None of that.
I like that.
Focus on get one fan and build on it. Get two, get three, get four, until it starts spreading around. And I think when it starts spreading around, you don't let things like, and I'm not just talking about radio, I'm talking about record labels, I'm talking everything. Let it come to you.
Yeah.
Don't go out seeking this thing. People come to me all the time like, I got this record, this one's for the club, this one's for just make your music and get fans, because the club don't care, the radio don't care until you have fans.
Most definitely.
I want to ask you this.
That Kendrick Lamar song, that was not a club song, but radio played it so much, it is a club song.
Boy, they not like us, ain't?
I mean, to me now it is.
Yeah,
my ear make me know it's a club song now.
But I want to
like
ask you this. Yeah, I was finna get on that.
Yeah, you just like
I was finna argue with you.
Whose side you picked on that? Kendrick or Drake?
Man, you know what though, man? Like I've been on a mental health journey the past like 6-7 years of my life. No, I'm not. I think here's the thing that I'm not picking Drake because I was disappointed in Kendrick because I felt like it went too far, but I expected to go too far from Drake. Right?
Okay.
My expectation of Kendrick was higher than that. And I thought when he kept putting out records, I'm like, come on, dog. Yeah. Drake, I expect that behavior from because I don't think Drake is I like Drake. I like his music. I don't think he's grown much over the past however long he's been on. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Kendrick was trying to say.
And for me, Kendrick is supposed to be like J. Cole bowing out. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is like that's who I
heard you say that. I think you heard.
Because I'm like, he was like, man, I did something. It didn't feel right. I'm gonna apologize to this man. I'm out of here. I don't need this stress. I don't need none of this.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
Because J. Cole sailed without the drama. I mean, these guys are mega stars anyway. Huge. Yeah. I agree with you, right? Because I thought Drake do go a little too far.
Yeah.
And I think Kendrick took Drake tools and did it, faster than what Drake did. So I think the whole world was, people tired of Drake. Let's be honest, they tired of the light skin.
He had a good run, bro.
He had a
legendary run.
He is going in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Of music. I think just people got tired of him. Light skinned guys taking our girls, man, and making these good songs and associated with Cash Money, right? So it's
Drake's I like his music. Mm-hmm. I think I also have this thought that like there's a certain level of fame and money, and when people reach that, their hold on reality is gone. And we've seen that with a lot of artists. We've seen that with actors. We've seen it with a lot of people.
I believe you.
And I think Drake's reality is gone at this point. Like I don't like he.
Like you can get that big, can't you?
He's too big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you can get that
like
big.
Kanye, it happened to Kanye. Like, and I was the biggest Kanye fan in the early Kanye. You know what I mean? And now I'm like,
Damn, Kanye. I heard a Kanye record the other day I still like, right? But his antics make me be like, damn, Kanye,
man, like you don't want to deal with it, man. Like
it's still rapping, Kanye, but damn.
Yeah, Kanye.
You liable to cuss me out when I turn this off, Kanye.
Man, I think if you ask me like my 5 favorite albums, 2 of them would be Kanye. Like College Dropout and Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy are 2 of my favorite pieces of work ever.
Yeah, everybody like that.
Yeah. And
Who's your favorite guest that ever came to one-on-one that you got to meet? Like celebrity-wise, that you got to meet?
That's a good question. So I say this. The one that I was most impressed to meet was Big Boy from Outkast, because I grew up in Atlanta.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Falcon.
Outkast
He's a
fan.
Falcon fan.
I'm a Falcon fan.
He's most definitely.
Falcon fan. I'm an Outkast fan. Like that was so it was a huge honor to meet him. I think the one that was kind of the best guest, the best interview was 50 Cent. Like just because I mean he is who he is.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you ain't got to interview 50 Cent. You just kind of have a conversation with him, bring up a couple topics. He gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And so he was fun.
Who was your worst one?
I don't know who my worst. I've had a lot of bad ones that didn't make.
Who
the
you
air.
meet? Who you meet and
If
was
it's
happy
bad-
to meet, and then you met him was like, man.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I know who I didn't want to meet, and then we met him, and we was like, "Yo, like this dude is cool." Like, I was
Okay, who was that?
It was Avant. Like our PD back in the day was like, "Y'all gonna interview Avant tonight?" And we were like, "Come on, man. I'm gonna talk to Avant."
Yeah,
about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Coolest dude I've ever met in my life, bro. Like he could have been a third best friend, me and
Oh,
Scooby. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like it was like
Yeah.
it was just like that.
It was a
Like
vibe,
he sat there and just. We chopped it up like all night, bro. Like he had the interview, it was done, and then he just sat there and we just talked because he was just
That's
such
real.
a down to earth, cool dude.
And you like, oh shit, this was a good.
I'll tell you another funny story. When me and School was wrong, I remember we was in. They used to have these mix show power summits back in the day. We went in 03, and it was 02 actually. It was in Puerto Rico, and it was just like all the mixer DJs from radio stations across the nation, and I remember we were meeting everybody down there. I mean, I watched 8 Mile 2 months before it came out.
Oh shit.
Eminem was 2 rows in front of us. Like it was like that. Like
Oh,
everybody was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Lil Kim was behind me. Missy was right there. Like it was crazy.
yeah.
It was like that. And so Scoob and I was young. We was green. We was and everybody was kind of like on 50's dick. You know what I'm saying? This was before like in the club and all that.
Oh
shit.
shit. So they
it was
knew
like-
50 was for the.
Everybody, and me and Scoob was like, fuck is 50?
Yeah.
Don't give a
That's
shit.
it.
Like, why am I gonna meet this dude? You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take this picture or whatever. No, I swear, we got back, and then In the Club dropped, and it was the biggest record. It was the biggest drop. It was the biggest record I'd ever seen that fast. I don't know that I've seen a record go that fast.
Oh,
In
so
the
soon
Club,
as
In the Club was just took off, it was
In the
over.
Club drop, like you say, you never
Weeks
seen a
before
record.
that, me and School was like, man, we really
Yeah.
take this 50, and then he was the biggest star on planet for me. It's crazy.
That's
It
big.
was like
Yeah.
when we had got our hands on that plies. Remember, we got our hands on that.
Ah,
plies,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
catching on, and Bussy Baby dropped, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, everything, man. You started coming in.
Yeah, I like shit, I forgot. But I do know I want to ask this question about, because we hear a lot about plants in the music industry now. Now, is it possible for one of the big record labels to just kind of create a superstar?
I'm not gonna say it's
Nowadays.
impossible. I don't have any information of it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
I
not
thought
that
you were
high
gonna
up.
say some shit.
No.
I
I don't know. Like I'm not that high up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm a local
Is
radio
that a
guy.
such thing though?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
just
I wouldn't-
heard it.
I've heard the same thing you guys have heard, so I don't know. Like I
Give
don't know
us
who would've
something,
been.
Dola.
I got nothing. Like
You in the meat?
that's above that's above my pay grade, bro. Like that's
just be in them meetings.
That's a whole
I'm
that's a
joking,
whole
man.
other tax bracket than me.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
like-
So you saying, bro, like you said, it's corporate. By the time it gets to you, it's already been filtered down.
But
through
I
corporate,
think
pretty
the
much.
thing that people need to understand about that is I don't see how it would be possible to have like a quote unquote plant, because at the end of the day, people gotta like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if
you
you put
gotta
somebody
like
out
it,
there,
yeah.
like if you put somebody out there and you try to make them a plan or whatever, they still gotta have product that's good. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have music that's good.
Yeah.
Or people are not gonna take to it. They don't care.
That's what I say. I say at the end of the day, the music still got to be good.
It's gotta be
It's
good.
still got to be
It's
good.
gotta hit somebody.
We'll
man.
give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we'll listen. And then once we hear, do you get this a lot? Soon as an artist have a breakthrough, do we want to hear, okay, give me something else?
I think now, it's back in the day, it was like, man, they dropped this album, and then it was like 2 more years, and then you have another album. Now it's like, you gotta, if you want to stay out, you gotta put your foot on the gas and keep it on there.
We always say that.
I don't know that that's a good.
No, you die out fast.
To do, I
think you die out fast.
I don't think it's a good thing. We spoke to a couple artists that say they get that comment all the time. Like, man, that shit bumping. When is the next one?
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro, let's enjoy that. I think it's a bad thing, man.
Yeah. I do too.
I think we need to let it marinate for a while.
And I don't think good work happens a lot of time. I'm not gonna say all the time, but in a rush. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We just
Especially
had
like
that
if you're
conversation.
creating something.
Yeah.
You gotta have time to figure out like where this is gonna go. Some artists pull it off, man. Like a lot of artists, like Drake pulled it off for a long time. He's back to back for years.
Yep.
I think Glow's doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like she's constantly has a record.
We talk about that. I said, this is one of our phone conversations. I was like, bro, when we was growing up and an artist really lock himself in 5-6 months, you hearing labels say, no, they worked on this album for 7 months and it was, perfect, right? Yeah. But now it's, I did 10 songs, I got 10 beats, I'm doing 10 songs a day, then I'm dropping it tomorrow. Yeah. Like it's that fast. And I think that is what get us. We listen for a second and then we say, okay, what's next? Yeah. Because there's so many new artists every day. I mean, you work in radio, bro. I know you done met over 1,000 artists that came out of Nashville. And then, have you ever looked at an artist page who told you he's an artist, but then you don't see no music?
I'm sure that's happened. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yeah. It's so many people that'll run up and tell you that they're artists, but they won't put the groundwork in. Yeah. Or, like you say, they'll just keep dropping. You know
what I don't understand about the mentality, man? It's just like, I mean, we see how many people, if you're an artist, you know how many artists there are like you out there, right? Mm-hmm. And you see how many people are actually making money, and it's a very small amount of people compared to the artist, right?
Absolutely.
So, like, the thought process of, I'm going to make this record, and you're going to give it to me, and then you're done, is a wild concept.
That's what it is. I gave it to Dolewite.
Mm-hmm. And I tell
sit back and wait on the phone.
I tell artists that, though, like, even if we played your record all the time, that's one radio station in one market.
Yeah.
That's not helping you that much, bro. Like, it's just not.
Yeah. Austin, Texas is not going to call them and say, hey, I heard you on the radio in Nashville. I'm flying you out here to the Bridgestone.
That's not how it works at all. So it's like, let's center ourselves in reality. You know what I mean?
Is one-on-one still out? Do you guys still go out and do remotes? And
we do less of those things now, but I still do the turkey giveaway every year. Normally do the homecoming parade, having to sit that out this year, unfortunately. But I mean, we're always out doing something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to do something once a quarter, try to do one good, like, community.
So y'all impactful to the community still and things like that. That's something that we want to make sure.
You said y'all do it a little less. Do you know why that is? Why?
I think things evolve, man. And I think that like, pulling up in a van, parking the van somewhere for 2 hours and telling people to come out needed some evolution. You know what I'm saying? It's a dated concept.
Yeah, it is, because it was big dubs.
Y'all don't go to City Gear no more.
City Gear was y'all That was our thing. Anybody that had a van and promoting their stuff on their van was big dubs. Oh shit, he got a van.
I don't think the younger generation looks at it like that anymore.
They gonna say, move that shit.
You gotta
get a Hellcat.
You gotta have something to tell people, like, people aren't just stopping by anymore like that. You know what I mean? You gotta. I mean, if I got some concert tickets on me or something like that, that's one that's different.
Yeah.
But just to be there, it needed to evolve a little bit. The thing we do more than that is now like more endorsement based. So like, rather than like saying, hey, we have remote and you're gonna have a good 2 hours of business here. Mm-hmm. Repetition is where it's at in radio, right? So like, why don't you take the money you're going to spend on that, and we'll do an endorsement. I'll be like, hey, it's Dolewite. I mess with this company for this, and that.
Oh yeah, I hear that a lot now.
That thing runs for a long period of time, and the repetition gets you more business.
Man, this is what
bondsman.
Yeah, I hear all that shit.
Your man locked up. You want to get out of jail? Call 188.
You know what though, man? I don't think enough. I think the songs, like a good catchy song that you run just all the time. I don't think enough companies do that anymore.
No,
man.
no,
like,
the jingles.
or just catchy commercials that I remember.
Nah.
Twinkies, 20 inch Twinkies.
Yeah, I remember him.
I bought my real
They weren't great. They weren't great commercials.
No.
but you remembered
Yeah,
them, bro.
that was
Like, and if you were getting rims back then, you would
Yes.
definitely shop there. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like,
Hilarious.
Most definitely.
Those were
Yeah.
hilarious. Before we get out of here, Dola, I know you keep saying you took a little mental health break. You keep talking about 7 years.
Yes,
What happened in these 7 years? You had your
I know-
little one, did
yeah,
you?
yeah, we had, it was my wife and I this is how it happened. I was doing a live broadcast. I had gotten everything down. I was tired, man. I had done clubs for 20 years. I'd been booked solid for 20 years.
Oh, congratulations, bro. That's big.
Thank
That's
you.
big,
Yeah, I
man.
was like 38, 39 at the time, and I was just doing a live broadcast at Agenda at that point, and I was just 10 to midnight on Saturday nights. I would do that live on the radio, and then I would be home by like 12:30, and I was just tired, bro. I was just Nightlife, it ran me. I was married, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing in there for me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
and so, like, I would dread it, and I'd tell my wife every Saturday, like, yo, like, I don't want to turn up tonight. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And then Agenda took like a 6-week hiatus, and I remember sitting at home that first Saturday, and I was like, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then the second Saturday rolled around. I'm like, I can get used to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third Saturday rolled around. I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
There
gonna
you
get this
go.
to the younger folks.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And so, like, my daughter was born in 2017.
Okay.
And
First child?
first and only.
Okay, that's
And,
me.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
had
y'all
my
boys
baby.
waited
Yeah,
a long
I'm
time,
42.
man. Yeah.
And I just had my son just turned 1.
Yeah, I was 39 when my daughter was born.
Oh,
man.
see?
So
Yeah.
Y'all moving like my dad.
Yeah.
That's how my pops was.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's the way to
It
do
makes it
man.
better though,
Yeah.
right?
It do,
I've
it
been
do.
through so much, and now I get to be like, okay,
And
I got life a little bit.
I can guarantee you are a better father at 41, 42
Absolutely.
than you
most
would have
definitely.
been 20 years
Oh
ago.
hell no!
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I was a road manager.
Yeah.
So I can speak from y'all's child's perspective. You feel me? Like, I know that my parents, by the time they had me, all the bullshit they had been done,
Yeah.
doing all the bullshit. My
Yeah.
dad did what he did. My mom did what they did. They ain't going nowhere now.
Right.
At 40, we're together
Yeah.
forever. And I got to see the benefits. I got a sister that's 16 years older than me, and she remember mom working 2 jobs and moving
Oh,
from
shit. Yeah,
place
yeah,
to
yeah,
place
yeah,
to
yeah,
place.
yeah.
And I don't know that story.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, we rich.
Yeah, 'cause you
You
had
know what I'm saying? We rich.
You know those wild those I have friends that who have kids that are like going to college and shit. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
and you know, we be having like your kid be driving you nuts, and you're like, damn, like
Yeah.
Tony kid in college right now.
Dang,
Nah,
you
but-
right, you right. I be like, dang. I be looking at my little man. I be like, damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 60 by the time you out of the house, bro. Like,
I be like, damn, man. I got so many.
we had our fun on the front end though. You know what I'm saying?
And I can speak to that Dolewite.
No.
The only downside about having an older father, he wouldn't get out there and play basketball with
Nah.
you. He was
Well, I can still
I
play
can do that.
basketball,
Yeah, I can do that.
but you right. It's the reverse. Like, fuck. I'm looking like, man, I feel had to take care of him to all the way.
But
to
you know, your
60.
homie that had kids back then was looking at you like, oh man, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's how he looked at me
Yeah.
like, damn.
You lucky.
He's lucky. He's having fun. Now I'm looking at him like, damn. I can't wait till he just can go get the remote
Some nights
control
I couldn't
for
go
me.
to Agenda. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some nights I had to stay home.
Yeah.
And he pull up at my house on his way to Agenda like, you sure? I'm
Yeah.
like, "Look at little man.
I mean,
He can get in too. Dolewite DJ and we get him through.
Parenthood is the weirdest thing, man, because it's the best thing in the world and the worst thing at the same time, bro. Like I spend a lot more time with my daughter than I think, and I think this generation of parents, we spend a lot more time with our kids than our parents probably spent
Okay.
with us, because our parents
Yeah,
were just
yeah.
like, you know, go outside,
Go
come back
outside.
when the light
Yeah.
when it's dark, you
Most
know what I'm saying,
definitely.
and like
Yeah.
go. And you know, I have moments with my daughter, and I'm with my daughter every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not one day that I'm not involved in
That's
her
me,
life,
yeah.
and I love that, man. And I'm happy to be able to do that. But like, now that she's a little bit older, I kind of got the itch to get back outside a little bit. Like, I miss the creative process of DJing live. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, and I didn't realize it until I went back, and I was like, I need, like, this is a central part of who I am that I was missing for 7 years.
Yeah.
And now my
Yeah.
daughter's old enough to where it's like not a big deal. Like, I can go
Yeah.
out on Friday night and it's not like, you know what I'm
There
saying?
you
When
go.
they're young, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think the first time I seen you DJ live, I want to say it was Level 88.
Ooh, I don't remember the days.
Level 88.
There was
Fate Eastwood.
That's my brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wasn't you his DJ?
Yeah.
I told you.
I mean, Fate was just like I would DJ for him.
Yeah, I remember.
It was just my dude. You know what I mean? It was my brother. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
I remember
yeah,
that's the last time that I actually saw you. Like,
you miss
DJ
Karma.
live.
You miss
Well,
Maya,
no. Just like seeing you.
Okay.
Like beginning stages.
Okay.
For me.
I remember there was a time between when the Karma days started in 2008 and to the time I sat down in 2016. There was a time where I felt like I had sets where I could take anywhere in the United States and kill it.
Yeah.
And I was like just that confident in what I was doing, and what I was doing was working week in, week out. But there weren't opportunities for Nashville DJs to move outside of the market back then. Now there is. I love it. Like Menville is in and out of town all the time. Yeah. And I tell him every time I see him, I'm like, yo, like I'm DJ proud of you, man. I'm glad you're doing that. Like, cool. Like they hitting the road like that, and I love seeing that from the younger generation of DJs, man.
No, when you was DJing, like you said, it was hard to really.
You weren't getting outside of Nashville. You would go to Clarksville or Bowling Green, something like that.
Yeah.
You weren't going to like
L.A.,
DC, you know what I'm saying? And to see these guys doing that is dope, man. CeeLo, shout out to CeeLo, man.
Yeah,
CeeLo in my generation, he get outside. So shout out to CeeLo. But
he got that itch to get back outside.
No, I'm not trying to take it on the road. I ain't got my sets ain't tight like that no more, man. Like I'm doing like R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like back then it was like one verse or one chorus.
What's the preparation in going into like because nowadays I ain't disrespecting the DJs. But now I'm hearing, right, it's buttons pushing now.
Yeah.
But when you had to go through it, explain like what's the preparation from then to now? Because now it's just a computer, right?
It's a computer, but you still got to know how to blend it and get it out there right. You got to be able to match it up and sets like even songs that are the same like beat per minute. So like you can have two records that will technically blend together, right, and be fine. But the feeling and the vibe of those records can be different. So you want to make sure that your sets are tight and where everything is kind of the same vibe. I always like to start it down and to just bring it up throughout the night. And I always enjoyed doing the earlier set because I enjoyed getting the people on the floor. I thought that was more challenging than playing the 20 best records.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's out right now, right?
Yeah,
the previous history.
I enjoyed the challenge of can I get this floor pack playing records from 2-3 years ago or you know what I'm saying, the 90s or whatever. I always enjoyed doing that more than I enjoyed doing, you know, those.
How is that set though when you get up there and you see ain't nobody getting up yet?
So
what's your go-to record to get people up?
So what I do, depending on how many people are in there, right? Like if it's almost empty, I'll play something like Lenny Williams, Because I Love You, and just be like, whatever y'all doing, we're just gonna sing this. We're not dancing yet. We're having drinks at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of set the expectation on the microphone to be like, hey, just sing this with me. And that normally gets people singing, normally gets people drinking. And then like a little slow jam set maybe after to just get people kind of in the mood, and then you just build them up from there.
Yeah,
who your go-to though? Like it's somebody that you play that you know.
So I have this set. I have a set that I do that never failed me, and a lot of DJs do this set now, but I promise you, I'm the first one to.
There we go.
I'm not gonna say I'm the first. Let me say I'm the first one that I created. It in my mind.
Got you.
I'm not saying I'm the first person that ever did it, but it was like every dance you can remember. So I would start with the Party Boys. What was the record? The Party Boy. Hit 'Em with a Flex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would do Stanky Leg, and then I would do like what was it, Dro? Shoulder Lean.
Yeah.
I would just run this set of records.
He on his fifth joint right there, boy. By time Shoulder Lean come in, he ain't got no shoulder, Dolewite.
And then we would do Lean With It, Rock With It, Laffy Taffy, depending on how well it was going.
These are get up songs,
Yeah. And that would get people, that set always got me. And then at the end of it, I remember back in the Karma days, I would do what was the Tootsie Roll. And then like, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna see how old y'all are. I remember this. You old enough to remember this. It'd be Tootsie Roll, crowd go crazy. And then I would mix out of that. I remember back in like the Karma days, I would do this fist pump thing. Remember like Jersey Shore? People would be like fist pumping. I would do Black Eyed Peas. What was it? Tonight's Gonna Be a Good Night. And then I would follow it with like LMFAO. And then after that, I remember this set like it was yesterday. I would be like, hey man, it's like since we're doing, white people shit, I'm a white dude. I would do Miley Cyrus Party in the USA, and it would go fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
And look, I know that song word for word. That's crazy. That's crazy. I know. Tyler, you know that song word for word? Yeah, he know.
Yeah.
And playing that like at my or something
That's
like.
his ringtone though.
Is it?
No, it's not.
That's crazy.
Man, look,
I
man.
love it.
Dope conversation, man.
I know
Dope
you trying to wrap it
conversation.
up. This is last one, man.
Yeah,
So
okay.
how long you been married, Dolewite?
It'll be 10 years this year in June,
Okay.
in 2025. So we got married in 2015 in Tuscany, Italy, actually. So it was nice. It was dope.
Give me
Yeah.
one gem, man. What has marriage taught you, man? One thing you can tell me that marriage taught you.
Oh, that's a good question, man. I should have prepared for that one better.
She watched
Just
it.
you know what marriage has taught me, man, is first of all, my wife and I bet we communicate better than most couples.
Okay.
And so for us, like I came from a family. No, I'm not like disrespecting my family or anything like that, but I came from a family that would get mad at each other and say things they don't mean. And my wife and I don't do that. Like if she's upset with me, she can express that to me, and I can sit there and I can take that in and understand why she's upset with me. And she's very good at saying, "Hey, you did this. It made me feel like this." And in turn, because of that, I've become good at that too.
Most definitely.
And so
man.
we don't do like the whole if I feel, sometimes and everybody does this. Like you'll be mad at somebody, but you ain't told them yet, so you kind of acting.
Yeah,
like
act now. Yeah,
I think we're both good at if one of us is doing one of those that stuff. We're good at like, hey, what's happening right now? What's going on? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we get it out the way. So I think just effective communication is the thing that marriage has probably brought to me the most, man.
No, I
For
love
sure.
it. I love it.
Hell
What's next for Dolewite, man? Getting outside more. What else?
Get outside more, man. Just the same thing, man. Like I enjoy my job. I still enjoy it after 23 years. Moving into a new building on Monday. I'm excited about that.
Most definitely.
And I keep moving around if it's a good spot with a good vibe and I don't have to, scream on the mic and make people dance. Like I'd like to provide music for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
yeah, I enjoy this little like vibe thing that I've been doing. Like
We
really
getting
had a good
older,
time.
man.
Yeah.
We getting older, man. That meditation, that energy, connection.
Being in the house.
Yeah.
Just being in the house.
I want to
man.
tell everybody, man. Like when you buy a home and you're in there, it's like it's different when you own a home and you're like, I want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm paying this high ass mortgage. I'm gonna be. I'm like, what am I go out there for? I'm gonna stay here.
I stay telling people, I say, listen, man, I'm gonna enjoy my house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy my house this weekend. But this is what we like to do right here. We brought the legend, man.
sir.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys, man.
We giving our flowers to you. We
Thank
call
you.
it mushy moments. We
Yes,
give
sir.
our flowers to you. You have most definitely been a huge influencer. You have highlighted what DJing, disc jockey, being just on radio.
Absolutely. All that. A father.
Yeah,
Like,
father.
Nashville really grew up with you, man. You know what I mean?
I say that all the time. It's like, man, when I got here, I was a kid. I was 23.
Yeah.
I was, you know what I'm saying? I was doing what 23-year-olds do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, like I've gone through this entire transformation of now I'm a
marriage. You're married, a husband. You're a father.
elder statesman.
Elder statesman.
Program director. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like,
So look,
crazy.
look, if y'all trying to get y'all music played, DM them.
shit.
They gonna do it anyway. It don't matter. Yeah.
Oh, you get DMs?
Of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah, I know.
I would shoot. I would. Why not?
I know. Who DM
I
you?
might
Look
send
at-
him the latest episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
He might get forwarded, right?
Hey, you got Kevin Lyle's number. Tell him you need a network deal. No, but this is what we like to do, man. We like to highlight. This is for Cashville, man.
Absolutely.
Y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. I got two things, man. Get money, stay true, get money.
And family, if nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the first one to tell you today that I love you, I love you, I love you, man. We out, y'all.
Peace.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That was dope, man.